Texas. They say everything's bigger here, and they're right. We've got big cars. I mean really big cars. Have you seen our trucks? They take up a parking space and a half. They're gigantic. And we like them that way. It's got a Texas-sized podcast as well. And this is it, right here. Fort Hood's great big podcast. Yeehaw.
Good morning, Vietnam.
Is that too much?
I've always wanted to do that. I'm so sorry. Is that too much?
Yeah, it's too much.
That was
Too much.
awesome.
Okay, let's try it again.
Yeah.
I've never seen Dave so startled.
I'm so sorry. Happy New Year, everybody.
Ooh, that was like 5 notches
that-
down. Maybe 2
Was that
notches up.
creepy?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, a little bit.
Happy New Year, everybody.
That was good.
That was better, right?
That was better.
All
That was a 7.
I feel like I've been drinking eggnog, and it's, well, I'm at work, so I didn't do that.
Yeah, I know. So you let us off. Thank you very much.
That was awesome.
Happy 2021. We have
Yes.
turned the page.
Thank goodness.
How long are you actually allowed to wish everybody Happy New Year?
Well, this is our first show, so it's okay.
No,
Yeah.
because people still do it. I mean, how long? You say like a week?
So normally I will say it until I see the first person, even if it's like the end of January and I haven't seen them, I'll say Happy New Year.
Really?
I will.
Yeah,
I don't know
kinda
about you
forget
guys.
at that point. And anything after MLK Day, you forget it.
I'm going into February.
No, I like
Are you?
to wish
Oh, yeah.
them well.
Oh yeah, I'm
Okay.
going into February.
Just because you're so happy that it's a new year?
Well, I mean, I'm still feel like I'm living in 2020, but yeah, I'll just keep it going. Happy New Year.
Blair said something about this in our last show last year where she said, you're not these kind of people that think just because you turn the calendar page, everything is going to get better, right?
No,
I do.
I am.
You do? So
I
like,
do.
So like on the eve of your 30th birthday, when you turn 30,
Yes.
which you have not yet,
Yeah, it's getting there.
when you turn 30, all of a sudden you're going to feel old?
I think I will feel different
Really?
because I feel like it's such a milestone, but I won't know until I get there.
Isn't 40 the new 30?
30 and 40 is not old. Old is like 80,
Yeah, or 60.
No, I think 60 is still.
75.
Okay, so I got 15 good years
Yeah.
left, right?
Yeah,
You're still
yeah.
good to
I
go.
don't consider that old. I
Yeah.
don't consider that old. Yeah,
Not quite there yet.
yeah.
But
I
it is
know, I
this
don't- No, but you act younger.
Yeah, sure I do.
Yeah, the army keeps
you don't
young,
see me
right?
getting up and out of chairs, right? It's that noise I make.
Yeah, right. All the bones crunching together.
Yeah. So, New Year's resolutions, folks. Did you make one, Kelvin?
No, not at all.
Oh no!
Have you ever?
You're not a New Year's resolution person.
I used to, but then I think it appealed. They were like, oh, what is it good about my year? I'm going to the gym, right? I'm going
Right.
to do this. I'm going to eat better. How long do they last? 2 weeks? A week and a half? A month?
I still think
Yeah.
it's good though. I think the intention is there. I think that's what you need.
My resolution every day is to be better than I was the previous day.
Is it working?
Not really.
I don't know. That's why I just keep trying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, girl?
Okay, so remember how last year one of my resolutions was to read a book a month?
Yeah.
I held out really long. I
Yeah.
didn't make it to the end. I read 8 books. So
That's not bad.
It's not bad. Like what, 75%?
Unless they were
there?
like Curious George books.
No. There were some that were, there was one or two that were kind of small, but I had owned it for a while.
If you read War and Peace as one of those 8, that counts for 3 books.
Oh, no, I didn't read that one.
Okay, never mind.
Maybe I can say I did though, because that'll cover 8 or 9, 10, and 11.
Or The Lord of the Rings, that is 3 books.
Yeah, that
so
is
there
3
you go.
books. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
So-
8 out of 12, you're 75% is passing.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly.
You're a solid
Thank
C
you.
on
I
your
think
New
I
Year's
deserve
resolution.
some clapping
Yes,
there.
here we go, clapping. We're clapping.
No,
petting
no.
it.
Yes. Thank you. I'm bowing now.
All right, she got
Yeah.
some clapping.
So
There you go.
Yes. So for this year, I really do plan on, I want to run a half marathon, my first half marathon,
Whew.
and maybe a full. But that one, I'm more earmarking that for next year's resolution.
Now, when you did the 10 miler, and I remember that, did you
Yes.
have to walk at all? Or did you?
No.
Yeah, really?
No. Actually, no, wait. I think I did walk. I was running with somebody and they wanted to walk and they wanted me to stay with them. So I did walk with them.
Okay. But you
But-
didn't need to.
I didn't need to. No, I've ran. That was my
She's a runner,
third
man.
time doing the 10 miler. And the previous year, I didn't stop at all.
Wow.
So I was trying to keep that going, but
So, I mean, a half marathon, that's only, 3.5
a couple
more
more.
miles.
Yeah, that's why
You could
I think
do
I
that.
can do it. Yeah.
You can do 10 miles without stopping.
Mhm. I signed up for the Austin. It's virtual now. It was going to be a scheduled event, but
Right.
the Austin half marathon.
When is that?
It is March.
That's actually coming up quick.
I know.
All right, how do you train for that?
I just run. I go, maybe I should get on the start working towards this.
Right.
And then I go to
Roll
my
on
gym.
Yeah.
So I have a gym membership because I know all the gyms some of them are closed and the hours are wonky, but I have a 24/7 one. So I have no excuses to not do it. So
That's just,
what about you though? Do you have any resolutions?
Are you kidding? If you recall last year, Charlie and I were both like, yeah, we're going to lose weight.
I do remember.
Yeah, and you remember we stopped talking about it when COVID hit, right? So that, back to the drawing board, I, starting, actually it arrives the day this show drops, I get food
Ooh.
from one of these places
Okay.
that you eat only their food
Ah.
and lose weight.
I
Gotcha.
see. I see.
Yeah, so it arrives Thursday. I'm going to start that next week. So I will probably be cranky
Oh no.
next week.
How long is it? What is it? Is it like a month?
I
3
did.
months?
I actually did this program 3 years ago.
Okay.
Right. And 3 years ago, in 2 months, I lost 30 pounds.
Whoa.
Okay. And then I said, I'm good. And then slowly but surely
As you
it all creeped back. And COVID really was bad for me.
Yeah. It was for a lot of people.
I put on way too much weight. So bottom line is I want to lose 50 pounds.
Ooh.
Yeah. And
That's a
I'm
good goal.
not gonna come off of it until I do. So I've already signed up for 3 months on that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I will probably go about 5.
Nice.
All right. Well, we'll be here to keep you on track.
Yeah. And then on the running side, she's half my age, so I ain't even going to think about, let's work out, Brianna. No. I walked a 5K on Sunday. Walked.
Hey, any activity is good
Yeah,
activity.
you've been getting out there. I've been
You know.
seeing your posts.
I get to, my knees have been bad and all that stuff. And probably due to the weight, my back hurts after a while, after X amount of miles.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, pull some weight off. Times will come down. I can jog more than walk.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually jog the whole thing because forget running. My knees are shot.
Baby steps.
Yeah, baby steps. But that is the resolution.
All right.
Drop 50 pounds, and
Woo!
it has to happen this year.
Okay.
Then I'll be back to my retirement weight when I retired from the Army.
I have faith in you, 100%.
Yeah. Just, if,
You can do it.
you see me like going out to get chips or something. Yeah. What are you
I will
doing?
tackle the heck out of you. Don't worry.
What are you doing? Where's your portion control? Is that made by that company that's giving you those? The food is not good.
Really?
Yeah, no. really isn't. It's diet food, and
Yeah.
you know, here's a baked chip, and you get like 4 of them, or they'll give you a bunch of them, but they're about the size of a dime
Yeah.
each,
Ugh.
and you just kind of go, okay, that was great. That was 80 calories. Okay, I'm still hungry. Next week I'm going to be hungry, guaranteed.
Yeah.
My stomach is growling just listening to this.
I
Actually,
know, well,
mine
we are
is
getting
too,
close
not
to
going to lie.
lunch. We are
Yeah,
getting
we're
close
creeping
to
up
lunch.
to lunch.
But all right, so he doesn't do resolutions.
I think it's good. I think it's a good starting place for a lot of people.
I've been making
especially-
the same resolution for 5 years in a row, and you hit 75% of yours.
I did. I
Well,
did. Passing
so-
grade.
And we applauded you already, so you don't get any more. of that.
Okay.
But okay,
No big
we
deal.
still have to do a look back at 2020.
Yeah.
You know, that's what this podcast is all about this week. And we're bringing in the Fort Hood Sentinel folks to talk about the newspaper, which is a year in review issue. And we get all that right after this.
If you've got problems and feel like you just can't get answers, there's a place for you to turn. The Inspector General's Hotline. They take your issues seriously. If you're at the end of your rope and need someone to reach out to, grab a pen and take down this number. 254-287-7209. That's 254-287-7209. The Fort Hood office of the Inspector General. They inspect generals, so you don't have to.
Hey, it's Melissa here from Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions. Now is a great time to stop by and see what furry friends they have waiting for their forever home. Or, down boy, you can follow their Facebook page called Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions. The great thing about pets that come from Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions is, alright now, be good, they're practically free. Well, sometimes they're free. They just need a good mommy or daddy. So stop by Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions, check the Facebook page of Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions, or even call Fort Hood Shelter and Adoptions at 254-287-4675 to make someone very, very happy.
Fort Hood's great big podcast. Factual, fantastical, frilly, and fun.
Recenter, calming thoughts.
Okay, you ready now?
Yes.
Okay, yeah, we are ready.
Yeah.
And we are back in the saddle.
Yeah,
In
we
a
are.
while.
Kelvin,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year,
Yes,
everybody.
Happy
Oh,
New
well, we have our
Year.
guest. I mean, we already said hello to everybody.
Yeah, we did.
So, joining us in the studio is Fort Hood Sentinel, standing watch since 1942, news editor, Brandy Cruz. Hi, Brandy.
Hello. How's everybody?
I'm awesome.
I'm great.
Thanks for having me back.
Hey, and we're taping this just prior to the first newspaper hitting the street.
Yes, year in review.
This drops the same day, so you know we're both hitting the street at the same time, and you get to be on multiple media platforms. How about that?
Yay.
Double
excited.
trouble.
Huh? So, as the news editor, you own the front page, don't you?
Yes, most of the time.
All right. So, tell me a little bit. Give me a sneak peek. Give me a preview. Tell me about 2020.
Well,
Because this is a year in review, right?
You know, I think everybody knows 2020 was a rough year for a lot of people.
Dumpster fire.
So, obviously the big story is COVID, but I thought it was cool that at Fort Hood, a lot of people stepped forward and showed their, how great they are, and they gave back to people, and we had soldiers going to New York and helping and deploying all over. It was exciting.
First Med.
Shout out to First Med.
Yeah.
You
And-
own those guys.
Yeah, we love
And
first
why-
responders.
Yeah, and wives just making face masks for people. It was just great.
We actually had that lady on the show.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Were you here
I
for that one?
remember. I
Yeah.
don't think I was.
No, you
Actually,
weren't.
I was there, I think.
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
Well,
Yeah.
I
we
got
did
my,
a lot, though.
my camo mask came from her.
Aw,
Yeah.
that's so
Oh,
cute.
that's nice.
She was awesome. All right, so COVID.
Yes.
COVID. It's still going on, let's face it.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Everybody's wearing masks coming in, right?
That's right, always.
Always. But what do we go into next?
Then obviously the Vanessa Guillen tragedy was a big focus on at Fort Hood, and I've got to say that 2020 it was hard, and it was one of the year that was the toughest writing for me, I think, because it was just so heavy. But I like that by the end of the year, we can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So,
what was it like for you to, hey, you're news editor, Post newspaper and all that, to really digest that stuff and have to report on it?
It was difficult. Sometimes I would just have to just take the information in and just take a break, just read everything and try to refocus my brain and just kind of rest, and then take a minute to write, and it would go better.
I mean, everybody had an idea when she went missing, because this is just me, right? She was a really pretty woman, young woman, and I was worried about trafficking or kidnapping or something like that. And the sad part, of course, is the day she went missing was the day she died. But a lot of times in these cases, and you think about it, how big Texas is.
Yes.
They found her in less than 3 months.
Yeah.
It was a big deal.
That may seem like it's an eternity for the family.
Yeah.
But there's stories out there, these true crime channels on cable that I watch, where they don't find the body for decades.
Or ever.
If ever.
Or if ever.
Yeah.
And they, to find out who did what to who and when and how and all that. As it played out, and I know there's a lot of issues that came out. There was the independent review and all that other stuff that came out from that incident and others. But it actually, to me, it went faster than it was like 90 days up, down. And that isn't always the way it is in these kind of cases. What do you think, Kelvin?
Bless you.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It was a tragedy, but I think when you look at the end result, at how, everybody came together, they found out who was responsible and, kind of attempted to get them, and just how they wrapped everything up, it was good. And it kind of forced everybody to look at how we do things,
our
here,
processes,
so that we can, make that change, so that things like this don't happen again.
I think the biggest one, and that's already been announced, and it's in your story, is that how they're changing how they identify people when they're missing from formation the first 48 hours. Can you kind of roll into that a little bit, or
instead of being declared absent without leave immediately, like soldiers are, they are declared absent unknown for the first 48 hours, and that'll allow the command to call the parents, talk to family and friends, check social media, see if that person is still around and present.
Right. Now,
so is that to avoid the negative connotation of being associated with
AWOL?
AWOL?
I think so.
Okay.
I really do. And, with a lot of that, AWOL, it used to be, you're not there, you missed formation, you're AWOL. If they can't find you, you're not accounted for. But like in a situation like this, think about what that says to the loved ones of that person that's missing. What do you mean that makes them sound like a criminal?
Yeah.
So I can see that. And it makes a lot more sense. Plus, they dive in and start looking, a little, right away. The independent review had a bunch of stuff. You read it?
I did.
You did?
I read it.
You read it. If you green suiters, you had to read it.
Yeah.
And of course, I did too.
Yes.
Right. But there's a lot of changes in the wind for Fort Hood, and they've already started. And you're the public affairs guru for 13th Expeditionary Sustainment Command, right? So
You're
tell me a
correct.
little bit about 13th ESC and how people first is happening.
Well, for us, it's something that we've been doing. We have Brigadier General Reagan. Ever since he got here, his main focus has been, on those soldiers, worrying about the soldiers. In order to properly take care of soldiers, it takes the leader. Now, I'm not talking about, it takes first sergeants and commanders and people like that, but it really comes down to those first line supervisors, those squad leaders. That's how we end up taking care of the soldier. You got to know the soldier, their background, their family, their likes, because these are the things that help us understand soldiers. Not only understand them, but you're also able to better take care of them. If you don't know anything about your soldier, you're not a true leader. So, doing the people first. I don't want it to. I think to the outside, it looks like it's something that we're just now doing, but it's been something we've been doing, but we just had to make sure that everybody's on the same page.
Right. It's more formalized. now.
Right.
And I would think that a good squad leader would later become a good, platoon leader, and then a platoon, go on and make a good NCO.
Right, because that's what happens. Soldiers don't know what they don't know. So if you're a soldier that doesn't get taught what right looks like, that doesn't have that leadership, and you stay and you become that leader that doesn't know how to lead, you don't know how to take care of soldiers. So this People First initiative, hopefully is going to change all that. So that the soldier, they get the right leadership up front, and they become that great leader that knows how to care for soldiers.
Right. Now, me, I did over 26 years. Retired in 08. How many years you got in now? How many? How many?
A lot.
A lot. Okay, but you ain't there yet.
Pretty close.
And Brianna, you got how many?
9.
Okay.
Ooh.
I'm going to be honest here. I learned more about becoming a good leader from what not to do
Amen.
from other people, right? And
That's true.
That's not a cliche. You know what you want to do and how you want to do things, but man, I learned more from folks that I saw what they were doing and went, yeah, I'm not like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What do you think, Brianna?
I think that's so true. And not just with regard to the Army, I think the harder general lessons you learn in life, you remember a lot more.
Yes.
And they stay with you a lot longer. And I think part of that is for the human condition, we tend to focus on the negative. It's really easy to be reminded of it. And it's harder to remember the positive. So that's why I do think negative experiences and lessons stay with us longer.
Right. It's like coaches saying you learn more from a loss
That's right.
than a close win.
Yeah.
And I also think that changes come with after a negative event.
Right.
So,
Yeah. If it
and what-
isn't broke, they're
which
not going to
brings
fix it.
positivity.
Right.
Yes.
So, people
So that
first.
means we're going to be really good this year.
News editor this year. That's going to be one of your focuses because it's the public affairs focus at all the units, right?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
too.
What kind of stories are you hoping to tell, Brandy, in the new year?
Well, I'm hoping to tell a lot of great stories. One of the first stories I want to tell is, obviously about the units and about people first. But I also wanted to go in depth about different organizations and what they do. And I thought one of the first things I could do is show how, Nature and Lights just went out. But these people work year round. And I
Right.
thought it would be a cool feature to discuss, to show how they bend the metal, and actually, maybe even do a video and show it. I thought it would be cool.
So you want to do the teardown?
Yeah. Not just tear down, but then they're already it's starting at the end of the month after they tear down. Blower really has nothing to do because they have no landscaping right now. And so that's the time where they start making the props for next year.
But Blora does have hiking and biking trails.
Yes, and
Open
camping.
every day from dawn till dusk at Belton Lake Outdoor Recreation Area.
You know, it was so cool. Earlier in the when I was getting pictures for Nature and Lights last year, I went down and I was coming up over the hill where you can see the water above or around, and it looked like an ocean. Like the water was like the really pretty greenish, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, what in the world?" It was so pretty. That's a great lake.
What about you, Kelvin? What's your focus on telling your unit story in 2021?
I mean, just focusing on the people, you know, those genuine stories, the interests of, the soldiers, the leaders that make them, want to serve, make them want to lead. Those are the stories that I like. So, Brandy.
I think those are my favorite stories too.
Oh, they're coming. Don't worry.
And what, as a consumer, Brianna, what kind of stories do you like to hear about the Army?
I like when I see that change is being made, progress is happening. I know with Fort Hood, we were embroiled in a lot of the negativity this year. Yeah. And I feel like you guys know more about that than anybody, being social media managers. So I do want to see Fort Hood being talked about in a better light, and not criticized as heavily, because there are good people here, and like we said, everyone focuses on the bad, and all the blanket statements come out. What's wrong? What's going on over there? And everyone's horrible and it's all corrupt. And it's like, no, that's not the case. I do believe there's good people here, and there's good stories, and there's good things happening. And it would be nice for the public to see that and to take that away.
Amen.
I like that.
Brandy,
Yes.
we didn't ask you. I probably should have did this up front.
Okay.
Tell me about your holidays.
Oh my goodness.
Come on. All right, we're going to get off
I
of
saw the
work just a
photos.
second.
Yeah.
Says, all
Well,
right,
it was great.
tell me how'd it go.
My son graduated from the University of Alabama.
Yay.
And you made the trip, right?
I did.
You were there.
gotta
I was there. I got off work on Friday, and we booked it to Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
She was not here for the last issue of the year. Well, she had stories in it, but
Yes.
she was not here.
Luckily, luckily it was in the evening, so after we drove all night, we had time to rest.
Oh my gosh.
So,
You drove straight through?
yeah, we
to
drove straight
Alabama.
through. Yeah,
Wow.
11 hours.
Roll Tide.
Uh-huh.
But it was exciting. It was good, and I thought there was a lot of students graduating, but they break up the graduation into sections. So, but he was one of only 4 biochemistry majors.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
In the whole University of
That's a lot of
Alabama.
Whole college.
Wow.
Cha-ching.
Yeah.
Yes. So, and then after that, we went down and visited. We have 2 boys who live in Montgomery, and went and visited them, and then all came back to Texas for Christmas. And then Christmas, it was a nightmare.
You had high school, right?
Yeah.
I did. My brother.
She has scars from Christmas.
I did. Can you see this?
Oh, yeah.
What?
It's healed up a lot.
Yeah.
Can you see that?
Oh my goodness.
There's about a 1-inch burn mark on
Wow.
her
Yeah.
left forearm.
Yeah, I burned myself.
What's the story? How'd you do it?
Well, I burned myself. My brother was he was grilling a turkey outside on the barbecue grill, and since we had
No deep fried turkey.
no, because he forgot his deep fryer.
Oh no.
Oh, yeah.
He forgot it. So he was grilling it, and I was roasting it in our little turkey roaster oven, so we'd have the oven free. And when I was pulling out the turkey, I burned myself. I cut myself earlier in the day. I had burned sweet potatoes.
Oh my gosh.
I literally, it was just not a good day. The rolls didn't rise. Nothing was happening. And I finally, but we're sitting there eating dinner, and I'm just so exhausted. And my nephew says, these are the best sweet potatoes I've ever had. And they were burned. But it was so sweet. And he didn't know they were burned, but like they weren't like black, but they had all the marshmallows and stuff.
Well, they were covered in marshmallows. So
Yeah.
they had to be good.
There you go.
All the marshmallows were dissolved into it because it was, so at the end of the day, I was just like, I need to go to bed. It was like 6:00. I was already ready to pass out.
Well, thank you very much for coming in.
Well, thank you for having me.
2021 is going to be a banner year, I hope, for the
Yes.
Fort Hood Sentinel
Yes.
and Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast.
Heck yes.
Standing watch since 2019. And we will be back with sports and leisure editor and sometime movie
When
critic,
there's movies.
movie critic Blair Dupre from the
and
Fort
she
Hood
is
Sentinel.
harsh on those movies.
Oh, yeah.
she is. But we will be back with her right after this.
Let your voice be heard at BOSS.
What's BOSS?
BOSS stands for Better Opportunities for Single Soldiers and serves the single service member community, active, guard, and reserve, as well as single parents, geographical bachelors, all U.S. military service branches, and foreign service members assigned to the installation. The BOSS program is based on quality of life, community service, and recreation and leisure. As a member of BOSS, have a voice in how you live, how you spend your leisure time, and how you support the community around you. BOSS membership and the program's available leadership and project management roles also will enhance your promotion package. For more information about how you can become a BOSS member, visit our website at hood.armymwr.com.
Masks on for safety, masks on for safety. In the store, you walk in the door. Masks on for safety, masks on for safety. Day or night, do what's right.
Look, ad jingles aren't going to stop the coronavirus, but wearing a mask or a face covering can help lower the chance of infection or spread. So do your part and mask up. Or we may just have to keep singing.
Masks on for safety, masks on for safety. Be a mouth and noser, or else you're a poser.
Do what's right, save a life, wear a mask.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It's what your tax dollars sound like. Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast.
And we're back.
Woohoo.
We really are. And joining us is Sentinel Sports and Leisure Editor Extraordinaire, Blair Dupre. Hi, Blair.
Hi.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I messed up Brandy's interview, so we're going to get this out of the way.
Oh, Lord.
Tell me about Orange, Texas, and holidays with the family, and let's do that first.
It was good. Kept it low key, like I said before, and we ate tons of shrimp. Oh,
Love
yeah.
it.
It was good. Yeah, and that's all we did.
I like shrimp.
I do actually have shrimp for lunch.
Smart man.
About an hour.
That's if we don't go over.
It's
Yeah.
okay.
So get this
it'll
right.
still be there.
How many takes we're going to do.
Yeah, well, you never know. Okay, so today, as this podcast drops, so does the Fort Hood Sentinel. And you're actually, there's the living section with Traveling Soldier, but there really is the year that was in sports in the living section, right? Right, where your football coverage has been all fall and winter.
Yeah.
And you kind of own that section. So tell me all about sports and leisure. And what did we write about? And what was the highlights?
Well, obviously,
And you could have brought in the page too, and it would
yeah,
have helped you out.
honestly, I'm winging it, so
there you
everybody bear
go.
with me. But 2020 for sports and leisurely activities was kind of, I can't think of the word besides bad. But everything was going really good at the beginning of the year. There was and it all feels like it happened the year prior. The basic training experience where it was all the Killeen high schools, football teams came and were, yelled at by drill sergeants and all that good stuff.
That was great.
what else? We had a couple of Cowboys cheerleaders come by, and no, there was a soldier. They gave out like signed copies of the team picture, and I swear to God, a soldier almost walked into me because he was gawking at the photo.
I
was like,
I got to ask, you're a native Texan. Are you a Cowboy fan?
I really don't care either way.
You don't have a pro football team, period.
No, I mean there's certain
And you're
players.
the sports editor at a weekly
She's
newspaper.
not biased. That's
I'm a
good.
very unconventional. Like I have, there are players that.
Are you shocked that they're not in the playoffs?
No. They.
Kelvin?
No, I mean, I don't dislike the Cowboys, but I probably can't tolerate some Cowboy fans.
Oh, it's the fans we don't like.
I just got to say,
Yeah.
born and raised in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, my Green Bay Packers are the number 1 seed in the NFC.
Go Aaron Rodgers.
Go Packers. Okay, I'm sorry.
No,
I
you're fine.
digressed.
You're fine. But they came and visited, and then what else? I mean, it was all going great, and then COVID hit, and the big military combine that the Cowboys host was canceled. That was the first big event that they postponed it at first. They were like, oh, because COVID was becoming pretty prevalent in Dallas at the time.
Right.
So they postponed it and then eventually canceled a little bit later. So, but after that, it was I was pushed out of my comfort zone.
Right.
And, I was covering things like the helicopter simulators. And,
Sure. Well, you got to, learn a little bit about the Army.
Yeah. It was interesting. Yeah, it was really interesting. But and then people were they had to think outside of the box to do things really. In the Ben Hogan Classic, I was going to say golf was kind of the thing that it slowed down for a second, but once they made adjustments,
social distance and still be outside.
Golf went right back on.
Right.
So the Ben Hogan Classic was actually supposed to be, I believe, in March or April, but they wound up postponing it, and then they did eventually have it in the summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, they had like golf scrambles every month and all that. So it was pretty much just golf for a long time, which everyone in this office knows how huge of a fan of golf I am.
Big eye roll there, listeners. You can't hear it, but we can see it.
I think they can hear it.
I enjoy talking to the people out there, and the people that work there, they're great. So they always make me feel welcome and all that. It's just, kind of lackluster when you're not actually participating in it yourself.
Yeah.
For me personally. But then
Wait a minute. You're not a golf fan to cover it, or you're not you don't like golf?
I don't go seeking it out ever. So
Have you ever played?
No, I've played mini golf. That's about as close.
I love putt-putt
as
golf.
I've gotten. Yeah.
Top golf.
Yeah, I'm sure it's a lot more fun when you're actually doing it, but just sitting
I
there
don't know.
going
Doesn't look
with
like
the camera and then waiting for the next person to.
So was it a breath? Because intramural sports kind of went by the wayside here on Post.
Yeah.
Was it a breath of fresh air to actually be able to go out and cover high school football?
Yeah, I was kind of concerned just because, because there's a couple of schools that I cover that have a very dedicated fan base.
Mm-hmm.
And the stands are full, like, all the time.
Wow.
So
Right.
I was like, how are they going to, actually pull this off?
Yeah.
So it was refreshing to go cover something different.
Right.
But I also was kind of wary at the same time.
Sure.
And also just to see how the teams would perform since their preseason, routine was kind of messed up.
Mm-hmm.
But Lampasas performed well, as they always do. They were undefeated in their regular season, but they got to the second round of the playoffs, and they just, I guess, dropped the ball. So they didn't make it, even though it looked like they were set up to go all the way.
Sure.
But they went the farthest as far as I know for the 4A schools that we cover. 6A started a month later than normal, so they started at the end of September.
Right.
And actually their season is still going on now, whoever's in the top or whoever's left. The state
They still haven't had
the state championship will take place, I believe, next week.
Wow.
This month. So
it
yeah.
actually pushed
It pushed them
well
back.
over a month beyond.
Yeah.
'Cause don't they usually crown a champion just before Christmas
Yes.
every year? Hopefully it's back to normal this year, right?
Yeah. We'll see. But Shoemaker got to play at home in the first round of the playoffs, which is what I covered before. And they haven't hosted a game, or Shoemaker, I don't think anyone's hosted a game there in several years. So it was the first time in a long time they've been able to do that. So that was exciting. But yeah, I enjoyed it because I was able to photograph something that I like to photograph.
Right.
And, as much as I appreciate golf for giving me some type of content when there was none, it's the worst to photograph. It's the worst. It's just so boring because I like football because it's always
Action.
something happening. But, it is what it is. So that's how I would describe 2020 in sports. It is what it is.
What is your hope for this year, 2021?
What I hope is that we can do a few more things that we didn't get to do. Like, and I've only been here a year and a half. I was thinking earlier this morning, I was like, it feels like it's been longer.
I was literally thinking that whenever you came in, I was like, I remember when you got here.
Yeah.
And you were like, how's this? It's going to be interesting. And then everything blows up this year. Past year.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
So, I hope that, because we didn't get to do the amazing ruck race that the MWR puts on,
Right.
and we didn't get to do the strongman competition that they also put on, and those were a couple of my favorite things. But so I hope this year we get to do some more of those things. But I also hope that if things continue to be bad, people don't push the envelope too hard, and because it'll just make it last longer.
Have you met people before?
That's true. Yeah. Just meeting some of the fans at the football games, it's like they're going to push the envelope as hard as they can.
Fan, it's short for fanatic.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. So, I mean, I understand wanting to get out there again and do all these things, but it's just going to make it more like the new normal that we're in right now. It's going to make it last even longer if we kind of abuse.
No, I think you're right. It's baby steps.
2020 part 2.
Well,
no.
Well, me personally, you take baby steps now, by the summer, things will be okay.
Yeah. Especially
They
now that
have
the
another
vaccine
wave
is out.
or whatever.
Yeah.
We could be messing with this till the fall or the rest of the year.
Baby steps, people. Baby steps.
Baby steps. Be safe. Wash your
Yes.
hands. Wear a mask. Do all those things that they ask you to do.
Yeah. And I just feel like on top of coronavirus,
And
tons,
get your shot when they offer it.
yeah, just tons of other things happened all at once. So it wasn't like we took on one thing. It was this after this after this after this.
Oh, yeah.
So, I feel like that's another reason why everyone's just kind of worn out, because it was like, it never stops.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, it wasn't just we were dealing with a pandemic. It was, fires in Australia and yada, yada, yada everywhere. So,
But you got you got a week break, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're re-energized, right?
Kind of.
Kind of.
Enough to do my job and get a paycheck. That's where I'm at.
Blair, thank you for being here. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
And closing thoughts, we'll be back with the crew right after this.
What is life? What's the honorable discharge? Sounds disgusting. Where'd my file? Which end of the horse do I stick the carrot in?
Sporky asks a question.
I don't know. Hey, everybody. Sporky here, and I've got a big question. What is OPSEC?
Fork utensil. How is it that you don't know about operational security?
Annie Pumpkin. No need to be so formal. You can call me Sporky. All my friends do. And I know all about operational poo-poo. But what is OPSEC?
Operational Securities OPSEC, fork utensil.
Ooh, maybe it's OPSEC. That's spicy. Where do babies come from?
Fork utensil.
It must have something to do with the military and things. I know. I'll take pictures of stuff all over post and put them on the internet and ask, is this OPSEC? Is this OPSEC?
Fork utensil,
Ooh,
you
it
better
sure
not.
smells like OPSEC.
Look, there are 5 steps to OPSEC.
Oh.
Identifying critical information, identifying the threat, assessing vulnerabilities, analyzing the risk, and developing and applying countermeasures. The OPSEC is pretty common sense, like not talking about troop movements or other sensitive things.
You mean it's a process by which organizations assess and protect information about things that could, if properly analyzed and grouped with other data by a clever adversary, reveal a bigger picture that ought to stay hidden.
That's exactly right, fork thingy.
Forky.
And like they used to say, loose lips sink ships.
Ooh, I love a good submarine joke, but seriously, where do babies come from?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Practicing good OPSEC is everybody's job. Protect your fellow service members. Don't be a sporky.
Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast. Close enough for the government, good enough for you.
Hello.
Is this Melissa Lessard?
Hello.
Hello, is this Melissa Lessard?
Hello.
Hi, are you Melissa Lessard? Let's try that again.
Oh my God, she couldn't hear us.
Maybe. Here we go. Hello, is this Melissa Lessard? Hello?
Can she not hear us?
I don't think she can hear.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
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 Yeah, she can't hear.
What's going on?
That's weird.
You didn't click the mute button, right?
No.
No?
Hello.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know if you can hear me, but your speaker is not working.
Oh, no.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
You can hear me now,
Yes.
but I can't hear you.
Oh, that's weird.
That is weird.
It is weird.
Because you were in through the board, and we couldn't hear you.
Oh, interesting.
Well, there you are. Now you're on my mic.
Oh my gosh, are you doing the
Yeah, you were on Fort Hood's Great Big Podcast.
Oh. Nice.
So we went around the room already and talked about New Year's and all that. And I do know you're back in Maine on emergency leave. Sorry about that. But tell me about being back in your home state.
Oh, it's lovely. It's snowing right now.
Don't like snow.
I don't like snow
And,
either.
you know, having to do the remote learning and take care of my 10-month-old son again. And running about, you know, dealing with weather stuff.
Yep.
So I think the day before we got back, because my husband flew with my son, it snowed, I think, like, I don't know, he said it was like 6 inches or something.
Oh.
Wow.
So we came back to that.
You said it didn't snow in Maine. You lied.
What? What? Who said it didn't snow?
You, when I was talking about snow in Wisconsin, you said, we don't get much.
Oh, no. We didn't get much on Christmas.
On Christmas. Okay.
Normally don't.
Well.
But later on, like right after Christmas and stuff, it started snowing a lot. And we're supposed to get, I think a storm is coming this weekend, but they're watching it, but that's about it.
Global warming.
Well, you're gonna be over there for a while, right?
Yes, for a month.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's a long time.
Yeah. So we will get you back in the studio at some point in time in 2021, but we wanted to give you a call and say Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Miss you guys.
And because it is what we've been doing for the last, month or so since you became a regular on the show, you have to see us out.
Okay.
That's why you're on.
Hasta la vista or au revoir. Or actually, you know what they say, man? It's like one of the things that they say is wicked.
Wicked awesome.
So have a wicked good day. And we will see you next time.
Thanks, Melissa.
You're welcome. Have
All
a
right,
good day.
take care. Bye.
Bye.
And bye, y'all.
Bye.
We're done. See ya.
Driving down the